Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James.
Who are my top 5 plug-and-play prospects in the 2024 NBA Draft? Now, if you're wondering, a plug-and-play prospect is someone who can come into any system in the NBA and perform as if he was in the best system made for him. Now, for example, a guy like Klay Thompson. Back in his prime, this guy was an over 40% three-point shooter. He could shoot the three with volume, and he was 6'7", so that means he could guard the point guard through the small forward position, and he was an all-defensive caliber type of defender. Now, if you guys are wondering what makes a plug-and-play player, this is a guy that has versatility. Whether it's on offense or on defense, this is a guy that can be a 3-level scorer, a shot maker, a free throw maker, or could finish at the rim. Defensively, this is somebody who can guard multiple positions, can guard on the perimeter, can block shots, and can be a force down low. At number 5, I'm going to go with Jared McCain. And when I said in the intro, these are guys that are versatile shooters, versatile scorers on the offensive end, I think Jared McCain can do it all on the offensive side of the floor, especially when it comes to shooting off the dribble and catching and shooting. I think this is a guy that can come into the NBA and lead a second unit as soon as he comes in, or be a combo guard next to a taller point guard. Especially being one of the better shooters in the draft. I think this is a guy offensively, he can come in and there's nothing that he can't do. He can hit the outside shot, he can drive to the rim, he can play make. This is a very versatile scorer if I've ever seen one coming into the draft. And for those reasons, I would have to put him at number 5. At number 4, I'm going to go Tristan da Silva. This is a 6'9" combo forward who can pretty much do it all on the offensive side of the floor. With his height, his size, and the way he can put the ball on the floor, stretch the floor, he looks like a very polished scorer at the collegiate level. And you can tell he can make an effect on offense the very first day he walks in the door. He has the mid-range shot. He has the outside shot. He can finish at the rim. He could really be a 3-level scorer in this league. I think he could be a pick and pop threat. He can be a pick and roll threat. He can be a ball handler. He can run in transition. He's a little polished with his up and under game. Even if he doesn't start, I think this is a great rotational piece for any team to have in the NBA, especially as a guy that comes in so experienced at the age he is at 22 years old. And in my opinion, he reminds me of a guy like Malcolm Brogdon if he was to play the small forward, power forward position. Just being able to give you high efficient, high IQ shots, play in and play out. He's going to make the extra pass. He's going to take the open shot. Every shot that goes up, in my opinion, of his is a very high IQ, very smart shot in my opinion. And for this reason, I will put him at number 4. At number 3, I'm going to be taking Donovan Clingan, and this is somebody that I want to talk about defensively, who I feel as though is a plug-and-play type of player on the defensive side of the basketball. With the way that the NBA is going, where size really does matter on an NBA team, I feel like Donovan Clingan is the perfect center to try and draft and mold, because some of the knocks on these young centers coming into the league is they don't have the size. They come in very skinny. Donovan Clingan is coming to the league at 7'2", 260 plus pounds. He can guard the pick and roll. He can guard the rim. I've seen him stay in front of some collegiate level guards just slightly. He can recover if he tries to help a little bit too much. And I think his playmaking on the offensive side of the ball is pretty good at the collegiate level. I don't think it's going to be a thing in the NBA for his first couple of seasons, but it's there and they may be able to progress it. Defensively, I don't think there's a team that does not have a real anchor defensively that would not take Donovan Clingan. Like, there are rumors that he may just go number 1 overall. Now, I don't like him going number 1 overall, but I have seen the rumors. At number 2, I'm going to be taking Dalton Knecht. Now, when we look at Dalton Knecht, this is more than just a shooter. This guy is 22 years old, standing at 6'7", and he is a very good shooter, and he can put the ball on the floor and run the transition. And I think he's the ultimate glue guy for a team like many in the lottery that already have a number 1 guy. I would love him on the Detroit Pistons to be somebody that can start next to Cade Cunningham. This is a player that averaged 40% from the three-point line. He is a decent team defender. I don't know if you would ever put him on somebody one-on-one, at least the best perimeter player. But offensively, he can score without the ball in his hand. He can score with the ball in his hand. He runs very well in transition. And I can see all that translating to the NBA. I mean, this guy is 22 years old. He's had a lot of time playing basketball in many different places in college. Started at JUCO, and then I think it was Northern Colorado, and then made his way to Tennessee. But once again, with how the NBA is played today, you can never have too much shooting. You can never have too much size. And I think Dalton Knecht fits that role perfectly as a 2-guard. I don't think NBA teams are going to ask him to do much of any on-ball scoring, but I think being a spot-up shooter, his first season in the NBA is going to be a role that he fits perfectly. And the quickness and the size and the hands could help him be a decent team defender. and that's why I'm rocking with Dalton Knecht at number 2. I'm pretty sure we all knew who was going to be number 1, and that's Reed Sheppard out of Kentucky. Reed Sheppard is a floor spacing combo guard who shot over 50% from the 3-ball in college. The only real criticism I have of him is his height. I think he's only 6'2", 6'3", but he makes up for it with his vertical. We've seen Reed Sheppard make the right play, playmaking wise, shooting wise, off ball, and he has very active hands on defense. This is pretty much one of the 2 players in this draft I see fitting on all 30 teams in the NBA. Whether it's coming off the bench, whether it's starting next to a point guard, you can always use more floor spacing in the NBA. And I don't think there is a better floor spacer in the draft other than this guy. He could be a facilitator off the bench. He can be a spot-up shooter in the starting lineup. He can be a facilitator in the starting lineup. He can be a spot-up shooter off the bench. Whatever you want him to do, Reed Sheppard offensively can come in and do. And it's guys like this, I think, who are going to have a very long span in the NBA. Just guys who are going to come in and fill a role or have a part of their game for any role that is asked of them. If you guys like this type of content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what type of top 5s you guys want to see, and